Yo, Rocco B, Scotty G. We are back. NFL action. We've been fucking gone for too long, but we're back. This is Rocco B over in Louisville, Kentucky, and my boy Scotty G in California.
How you doing?
All right, baby. Oh, man. I don't even know where to start.
A lot of dust on this mic,
I don't even know where to start. You got dog hair. I got dust. What are we going to do? I know what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the fucking NFL. Unbelievable season we've had so far.
What else do we do?
That's what we love doing. But before we get to that, before we get to all this shit that we've missed out on talking to you guys about, we unfortunately we lost someone who was very close to us. Scotty's uncle, the real Jimmy G, James Glynn, has passed away, and we miss him.
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend. The real Jimmy G.
This pod goes dedicated to James Glynn, and Jimmy G.
The big G-Men fan. Huge Giants fan. And we're going to get into the Giants a little bit later, and I'm going to tell you, I really do believe that I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think they're going to pull one out for old Jimmy G. Beat Minnesota and play this game in the playoffs for Jimmy G, for Mr. James. So, Scotty.
It's bad. The passing of Uncle Jimmy is not only sad, but it's bad for Minnesota because he's definitely going to be there in spirit, I'll tell you that.
He will be there in spirit, and I think Minnesota's going down. But let's have a nice moment of silence for Uncle Jimmy. All right, baby. Well,
let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. Well, your Jets, 7-10. My Cowboys, 12-5. Didn't play like 12-5. Philadelphia Eagles, 14-3. And, of course, the New York Giants, 9-7-1, right? But before we get into how their fucking seasons went, before we get into what we've missed out on talking to you guys about, there was a fucking huge thing that happened now about 10, 12 days ago.
Huge. And
it's going to reshape the way that the 2022-2023 NFL season is going to look in the playoffs. Damar Hamlin. The injury that's almost unexplainable.
How crazy is that?
Unbelievable.
That situation real crazy. That hit we saw literally happens 50 times a game, 60 times a game. I mean maybe that's an exaggeration, but it happens a hell of a lot every single game.
A hell of a lot. So you can understand when a guy like, say Ryan Shazier goes in and hits a guy low with a low helmet in the fucking elbow and then he can't get up. Or, hey, this, Willis McGahee's fucking running towards the end zone and the safety comes up and lays the top of his helmet into his knee. Bang, there goes his ACL and his MCL and his PCL. All the CLs are gone. Okay, you can see that. But
I never seen this.
Dude, he comes up to T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a big dude, big receiver.
I feel bad for T. Higgins, too.
Yeah, puts his head down, puts his shoulder in. He's trying not to get whacked by the safety who's coming 100 miles an hour. And Hamlin hits him. Boom. It's just a normal NFL-style tackle. Hamlin gets up like he's fucking pumped. Boom. He's excited. He just made an awesome tackle, and then he's out. Out like a fucking light. And I'm thinking, wait a second. What just happened? Concussion? Did he get his wind knocked out of him? Like, what is it? But then once you see his arms go dead, then you were like, okay, he's like knocked out, right? Then the whole team surrounds him, and now you see in the eyes of every Bill and even all the Bengals, you can tell like, oh shit, something's up.
Yeah, it was scary, man.
Something's up, right?
I thought we witnessed a death.
That's what it was.
And I don't want to spend too much time on this because I know it's already beating a dead horse because this has been talked about on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get our quick 2 cents in. I know there's all kinds of different thoughts on it. I got 2 quick thoughts. One, never seen anything like it. Insane. Very happy that he's okay and that he's doing better. And, again, hopeful one day he gets back on the field.
Absolutely.
If he would like to. I don't know. Honestly, going through something
I don't know how you do it. Yeah.
I honestly couldn't do it. I don't have that mental capacity to say, hey, I'm okay to do this. I have that strength to do this. Hell no. After that, I'm done. I'll take my retirement, my walking papers. But the other thing is, and I said this to and Tommy and Palaz and a couple of people through text and stuff, it is kind of interesting how the human race is and how people in society are. When we see something, we react very differently because, like I said to you guys, as sad as it is and blah, 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 and I know you're going to kind of jump on this a little bit, is he did sign up knowing that this is the risk of something that could happen, and these kind of things happen. I mean, there's high schoolers and kids in, maybe not as college, but younger kids and Pop Warner kids literally pass away every year from heat exhaustion. It's an awful thing. It's a terrible thing. Now, this is different. This is an actual collision. But I'm just saying, this had gotten so much more attention because it happened right in front of our eyes.
On a Monday Night Football game.
Yes, and I guess I understand the psychology is different when you're like witnessing the trauma, but it is crazy how we react to when we actually have visual of something like this happening.
Sure.
Because this is something I'm actually surprised something like this hasn't happened before, to be honest with you.
Well, you're right as far as the cardiac arrest part. Here's the thing, though. My issue is you want to go back Monday Night Football. You want to even go back to Cincinnati. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I just mentioned it earlier. 6 years ago, you had Ryan Shazier get paralyzed on the field.
Yeah,
paralyzed. Everybody knew he couldn't use his legs. They knew it.
They need to get a new field. There's been a lot of crazy injuries on that field.
You're right. And Monday Night Football, unbelievably. But they started the game fucking 5 minutes later. Okay, so I don't know whether it's just how society has changed over the years, but they knew this dude was paralyzed, just like they knew this dude Hamlin was dead. He had to be revived twice.
I think it's different though when someone actually passes away, because when someone's paralyzed, yes, it's awful, and maybe they didn't know he was paralyzed. But when someone's paralyzed or someone breaks a bone or something, you're at least going to see the guy the next day, or you can go talk to him.
I get it.
Someone passes away,
No, I get it. I'm just saying I didn't really feel like it was great to restart a game after a guy gets paralyzed either. But
you're saying be consistent.
Be consistent.
We should have stopped the game with the guy getting paralyzed.
But here's the thing. I get it. Your teammates are going to be affected by seeing what that shit is. Damar Hamlin was I think pronounced basically dead on the field.
I don't know if they pronounced him dead, but they
you know what I mean.
They had to revive
but
him, yes.
Here's the thing. You stop the game, and you, of course, don't get me fucking wrong. I am not saying that they should have restarted the game. It's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, these guys, like you said earlier, signed up for this shit. This is not a game anymore. I'm sorry. It's your fucking job. Okay? They may be playing football, but it's not a game anymore. It's a fucking job. So the NFL fucked up. Cincy and Buffalo were right for stopping the game. The NFL wanted to restart it. Right? They said no.
Real quick, do you think that was bullshit, or do you think they actually wanted to go in 5 minutes?
I think the NFL wanted to restart it. I really do.
And then the coaches were saying,
the coaches said, hell no. And that's exactly.
I agree with you. I think that's what happened too.
The right thing to do, right? But I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, this game had to be played, right? Because here's the problem: you get into this whole, bullshit with the coin flip. Thank God that didn't happen with Cincy.
Just to clarify for yourself,
yes,
you're saying it needed to be played, but just another day,
Thursday or Friday. Okay, this game had to be played because not only did Damar get better that week.
By the way, Thursday, I think we knew he was okay.
Yes. So here's the thing, Scotty. On a normal week, you play a game on a Sunday. And then if you're one of the teams that gets unlucky to play Thursday Night Football, that's fucking 3 days of rest and then another game. Okay. Why couldn't they have played on Thursday and then played even Monday night against the Patriots, week 18, or you push it to Friday and they play the Patriots on a Tuesday? Why couldn't they have done that? What were we waiting on? The Damar Hamlin thumbs up? What if the fucking guy was in a coma for 2 months? Is Buffalo not going to play a game anymore? Are we going to delay the whole schedule because of that? It's not just a Buffalo problem at that point. Then you're throwing the whole league on top of it.
Yeah, and I get you. And it is kind of a mess. And I think it also is very different, the fact that it happened in, week 17. Yeah. I think this happens in week 10, 9, 8. I think it's easily made up. I think it's just the timing. And I think the NFL, based on after that 5-minute bullshit that came out, I think they were just trying to make some PR moves. They didn't want to look bad.
Come on.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think the coin flip's a dumb fucking thing. I think the neutral field is not great.
It's awful.
But at the end of the day, I kind of think the way it played out is how it was going to play out. Kansas City got the number 1 seed. I think that's probably right. Buffalo got the number 2 seed. I think that's probably right. And Bengals got the number 3 seed. I think that's probably right. So at the end of the day, I'm not too upset about it, and I don't want to spend too much more time on this because I had to watch this same conversation about 17 times.
Yeah, but nobody's saying the what shit we're saying. Nobody's saying the shit we're saying, and guess what, Scotty? Nobody's going to say this shit either. I just saw yesterday a fucking post from TMZ. They told the world that Damar Hamlin has now gone in and tried to trademark the phrase, "Did we win?" and the phrase, "3 is back." And the fucking guy is putting it on T-shirts and he is making money from his cardiac arrest.
I ain't mad at him.
I think that's
make something out of nothing.
unbelievable. I think it's unbelievable. I can't believe this guy is trying to monetize now his cardiac arrest. He went from $5,000 in an account for a toy drive to within 3 days, they got up to $8 million because he had a cardiac arrest on a football field. Can we, as human beings, wrap our heads around that?
I do think, I will say this, I think people in general need to be more consistent. I think if we're going to do something like that, we should do something like that for everyone.
You people are fucking nuts, is what I'll say. What about the firefighter who's busting his fucking ass and who just died? You know,
or the first responders.
The first responders. Why didn't you fill up their GoFundMe page or blah blah blah?
I get you.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
I get you, but I'm not gonna blame Damar Hamlin. I mean, he's making money. I mean, that's like me getting mad at Bart Scott for capitalizing on Can't Wait. I mean, I'm not gonna blame.
He didn't have a cardiac
that.
arrest, Scotty. I mean, let's get real. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy. And I think the fact that Buffalo or Cincinnati didn't have the chance to get the 1 seed, which they could have, is crazy to me. Or even Cincinnati being 2 instead of 3. And then we're going to, since he loses to Baltimore, you're going to flip a coin. Give me a break. I mean, it's a shame. The NFL fucked it up. I really think Buffalo and Cincy did a great job with stopping the game at the time. I agree with that, but that game had to be played. Okay, yeah. The fact it was canceled was absolute horseshit. Now, let's get off of that. Scotty, we got I'm really fucking excited about this. We have to get into how our teams went in through the season. We have Philly, of course, who has the best record out of all of our teams at 14-3, Dallas 12-5, the Giants 9-7-1, and then of course the Jets with their collapse at the end with 7-10. But we're going to start with the Jets.
You had to add that collapse part of it.
I just want to start with the Jets because I am a de facto Jets fan for your ass, and I want to know what they're going to do to finally get over the hump in 2023. What is it going to be?
I mean, the only thing they can do is get a quarterback. Get an offensive line. That's all they need. I mean, that's not all they need, but that's what you need. All right? Well, we literally have damn near everything else. They're going to need to bolster the defensive line a little bit because we're going to have to make some cuts. They definitely need a linebacker that can cover. The Jets are interesting. They were 5th best defense in the league. They couldn't stop anyone on 3rd fucking down. You know why? Because 3rd down, it's usually like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. Do you know what happens there? They put the secondary back to make sure no big plays happen, which apparently didn't happen in the Lions game. But they put the secondary back, and the linebackers are usually in charge of that middle portion of the field. None of our linebackers can cover. C.J. Mosley, love the guy. Gotta go. Can't cover. Tackling machine, can't cover a fucking lick.
Well,
yeah. And it's like they need a little linebacker help with coverage. They're gonna need to bolster the D-line a little bit because they're gonna probably lose a couple guys. But the biggest thing is go get a quarterback, go get another couple offensive linemen. It's easier said than done because it's been 34, 35 years of my life that I'm aware of, and no quarterback, bro.
Well, I wouldn't go out there and say no, but it's been a long time.
No quarterback.
Long time.
When Chad Pennington and fucking Mark Sanchez are at the top of your fucking quarterback pyramid, you got a problem.
Well, we talked about it the other day. We can't forget about Broadway Joe, and I'm sure the Jets fans in the 80s really love the name Ken O'Brien, of course, drafted over Dan Marino. But, hey, here's the biggest issue with me, Scotty, with the Jets. Breece Hall got hurt. As soon as Breece Hall got hurt, this team completely changed. Okay, tackling doesn't matter anymore. Your quarterback almost doesn't even matter anymore. Breece Hall was winning with Zach Wilson. I mean, that's how good this fucking guy is. And when he went down, the whole fucking year completely changed. Okay, I don't want to hear about Pyrite Mike White.
Something else happened the same week Breece Hall went down. Elijah Vera Tucker went down that same week.
Well, he is your best lineman, that is for sure.
Yes, that affects it as well. Yeah, because he wasn't the only one running well. I mean, Breece Hall's a monster. He was doing everything. He was catching the ball, he was running the ball, he was doing everything. But Garrett Wilson's a stud. We got good tight ends who they don't throw the ball to.
Yeah. Well, Mike LaFleur's gone, ladies and gentlemen. The breaking news of today, the Jets parted ways with Mike LaFleur. Thank God, because I couldn't stand watching the same old with that guy every year.
Woody cleaned house on the whole offensive coaching staff. as far as run game coordinator's gone, offensive line coach.
Yep. Miles Austin's done.
Miles Austin is fucking gambling his life away.
He's gambling, watching porn, whatever he's watching.
Suspended. I don't think he's coming back.
No, he's done. But you
yeah.
know, Bobby Saleh from the Bronx, Joey D, welcome to the hot seat, fellas.
2 quick things before we move on. One, got to give my props out to Sauce Gardner. What a stud!
Gotta love Sauce.
We'll go in deeper on rookie year candidates, whether he gets it or doesn't.
Oh, we'll dip into the sauce.
We'll talk about that on another pod. But I gotta say, the other thing is, I've been catching a lot of heat about Bobby Saleh from the Bronx about being a bust. I don't agree. I read something today that kind of made me think maybe they're not completely far off. So as much as I love the guy, and I think the defense went from like 32 or 31st to 5th, which is incredible.
Just please don't tell me he's defending Zach Wilson again.
No. Oh yeah, I know that's one thing. But I just read today when they parted ways with LaFleur that Robert Saleh had no input and never made any adjustments with Mike LaFleur's offense, meaning he gave him full range. Now, that's great. You want to trust the guys you put in the position, but when shit ain't going right, when you go 3 weeks, 2 weeks without an offensive touchdown, you probably, as a head coach, need to step in and say or do something. That was the only, so far, red flag for me. I don't like that at all. What are your quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I don't understand. I mean, I told you throughout the season. I mean, I was saying, okay, you got Mike White in his quarterback. You know, Zach Wilson sucks. We all know it's unbelievable how bad that kid is, right? But at least they know. They're going to move off him. We know that. I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at the box score. I'm like, Scotty, they ran the ball 14 times. How is Mike White throwing the ball 57 times? They're throwing it 57 times. And they're going to run the ball 14? And then the next week, like you said, sometimes it'd be like, all right, 25, 30 runs, fine. But then 3 weeks later, they go right back to it. Mike White's throwing the ball 50 times. Like, what are they doing? You know, I understand.
They went 1 week from like 18 passes to like 50 passes.
It's unreal, and I saw it multiple times, and I'm seeing it multiple times with multiple teams where you look at the box score and you're saying, why did they have 17 carries? I mean, I know the game's changing, but come on. I mean, run the football. I'm excited to see them get back to running the football. I think they're going to get a hard-nosed coach, you know, someone who's going to ride Breece Hall and even this kid Bam Knight, who I liked. But yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see the Jets. Of course, they need a quarterback, but we're going to get into that in about in a couple minutes. You're going to see, I think, who the New York Jets quarterback is next year in 2023. I'll give you that here in a minute. Let's get to my my pathetic. I think pathetic is the perfect word. My Dallas Cowboys. What I tell you, every single year, I try to tell you and whoever else would fucking listen. Dak Prescott sucks.
I might actually start believing you.
And the reason why he sucks, you know, you always use the stats on me and they win games and look at this and look at that. No. Here's why he sucks. He is the biggest, and I'm telling you, biggest cock tease of a quarterback that has ever played in the NFL. You gave him $40 million, Jerry. 40. Guaranteed every year. He is paid like an elite top 5 quarterback. He gives you a top 5 elite quarterback game maybe twice a year when it doesn't matter. When it matters, the guy shits the bed. Shits the bed every single time. Okay? It has nothing to do with the stats that he accumulates at the end of a game when we're losing by 30 and he brings us to 15, or the stats he accumulates because he's playing the 32nd ranked defense and we're still in a close game. Or in the playoffs when we have a home game and yet the guy doesn't wake up until the end of the third quarter. I mean, that is not elite. But he's being paid by an owner that thinks he's elite. He's never elite when it matters.
Has anyone broken down the reason of these pick sixes too? I've never seen anything fucking like this.
It's unreal. He threw
pick six. He threw 2 in one game.
I know.
I've never seen anything like that.
I know. He is incredible. He leads the league with 15 picks. He missed 5 games. Imagine if the guy played 17 games. He'd had over 20 picks.
I've honestly, I don't know how he keeps throwing. It's not only just picks. Like I used to get pissed at Mark Sanchez because he would throw picks a lot. But the thing is, it wasn't just he threw picks a lot. Every pick would be in the red zone when we were about to score. So they were like, It was like a double doozy. With like, not only did you turn the ball over, but you missed out on at least 3 points every fucking time.
Double doozy.
This guy's even worse. You're not missing out on 3 points. You're losing 7.
I know.
He's literally giving the ball back.
It's bad. It's bad, and we're married to the guy. You know, you can't get rid of him. So I've succumbed to knowing that we have this guy for at least another full year after this playoff year, because we can't get off him because of the way the contract is set up.
You got to move off Zeke though.
We can move off Zeke. He's done. We got to get younger on the offensive line. I've been telling you that for a couple years now. I'm tired of our busts in the third round of the draft. Jalen Tolbert, he hasn't played a game basically all year, and he's been healthy. Big bust, third round. You need those players to start. Your first 3 picks have to be starters. But if you're going to be married to the quarterback, then you better love your coach. And I don't love my coach. And I haven't loved my coach since we've had Bill Parcells, okay? Mike McCarthy's got to go. I would even love Dan Quinn to step in and have to be the head coach. I got no problem with that.
Dan Quinn's taking interviews.
But my guy
make that decision quick.
Would be Sean Payton. If we can't get Sean Payton, if we know Sean Payton's out and we know he's going somewhere else, he loves L.A., loves the beach, whatever, and he doesn't want to be, overrun by Jerry, I get it. Dan Quinn's the guy. Don't let him leave. Just get him right in the fucking hot seat and right as the head coach. He's the guy. Okay? But Mike McCarthy's got to go. All right? He's had this team now too long show up in these games that are important, and they just don't show up to play. And that's the head coach.
I think real quick too, you got a problem with receiver. Your number one receiver is CeeDee Lamb. And
I agree.
Guy, I don't even know if he's the number one receiver. The guy can't. He's like, I don't even want to compare him to T.O. I was going to say a poor man's T.O., but I wouldn't even say.
No.
Well, I was going to say a poor man's T.O. because T.O. dropped a lot of balls too.
Yeah, but T.O. would go over the middle. He'd go deep.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm taking it back. But
Yep.
I was trying to think of a comparison, but honestly, I think the real answer is he's not a number one.
No, he's not. He's not.
I think he's a above average number 2.
No, he's a great number 2. Yeah, no, he's a great number 2.
And you can probably roll with him as a number 1 if your 2 and 3 are badasses. But it's kind of a far stretch.
No,
I mean,
he's not a Devontae. He's not a fucking Jamar Chase.
It was a blessing getting T.Y. Hilton.
Oh, absolutely. But now, and real quick, because I want to get off Dallas because it's making me sick. I really think the biggest mistake they made, even though, I didn't like him either, but apparently he was Dak Prescott's best friend, and he may have other best friends, especially males, but Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was the cog in the wheel that drove Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. And the fact that the Dallas Cowboys got rid of Amari Cooper for a fucking ham sandwich really just goes to show you where they really fucked up. Could it be, he didn't get vaccinated and all that other shit? Maybe. Could there be extenuating circumstances in his personal life? Maybe. But I don't think that was a great move because Amari Cooper was the guy. I think that at least freed up a guy like Lamb, freed up guys like Gallup, so we're seeing the big difference there without Amari Cooper. And, I'm not betting against Tom Brady, I think, this weekend.
I was going to say 2 things. I always like the 2 things. You notice that? I always do 2 things. 2 things. 2 times Scotty. I was going to say, 1, I'm not a big Amari Cooper fan. I think it was a mistake not getting someone in there to replace him. And then the second thing I was going to help you with your segment here, I don't think it matters what the fuck you do because you're fucked for the next 5 years with that team in Philadelphia.
Oh, so he wants to segue. He's going to segue into the Eagles by saying, I'm fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Okay.
I'm happy the fucking Eagles aren't in the AFC East. Let's just say that.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's talk about the Eagles. So you're talking about the fact that I'm fucked because they don't have the big contract with the quarterback because Jalen Hurts right now, dude, 0.7% of the cap.
Even if you pay him, what does it matter? They got like 30 draft picks coming their way.
Sure, but they're also paying A.J. Glass about $30 million a year. Every year, Howie Roseman, who should win GM of the year this year, but every year he's going to make some type of crazy trade that's going to involve either a first-round pick or someone who's going to get paid to max. But, when him bringing in A.J. Glass and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and then, of course, the draft of Jordan Davis and a couple of those guys.
Stud C.J. is, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he brought in great guys. What the hell happened to Nakobe Dean, though? Where is Nakobe Dean?
Well, the whole thing was I thought he was injured to start. I thought it was the whole thing. They didn't even know if he was going to play this season.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the whole
That was the whole thing. Yeah. But he didn't play this year either. So it's like, what's he doing?
He has played. He's played this year.
What's he doing? I mean, Nakobe Dean was the best defensive player, I thought, on Georgia, with Trayvon Walker and Jordan Davis and all the Quay Walker.
Yeah, but first off, there's other guys on Philly right now that are amazing.
Nah, their linebackers are overrated. He should be on the field.
What about the dude they got from the Chargers? Kaiser White.
Yeah, that's one linebacker.
What about Kaiser White? Is that how you say his name?
I mean, yeah, Kaiser White's he's good. I mean, he's a good player, but I mean, it's one of their linebackers. Get fucking Nakobe Dean. I mean, maybe there was something wrong. I don't know. Maybe he is too undersized. Who knows? But their defensive line, they got fucking 10 sacks. 4 guys have 10 sacks apiece. I mean, it's crazy.
Unreal.
But
I've never heard anything like that.
I think their corners are overrated, man. I know you love Slay. I know you love Bradbury. They're getting toasted.
Kids. You are out of your
They made Dak Prescott look like Patrick Mahomes.
This is a Cowboy fan.
No, dude. Look what they did. Look what they did.
Eagle hater.
What about the Saints?
I don't like Philly fans. I don't like Philly fans. Even our friends, when they're showing their homer, it pisses me off, especially when they clown the Jets, because I'm like, fuck you. But the Eagles...
They look like garbage against Chicago. They look terrible against Dallas. And they look like garbage against New Orleans, right? I mean, come on. They played they played a junior varsity Giants team at the end of the fucking year. Come on. Here's my deal with Philly, right? I ultimately think, yeah, they in the NFC Championship. Of course they're going to be in the NFC Championship. But the question is going to be, can Jalen Hurts throw the ball when he can't run? When their run game is shut down by San Francisco in the NFC Championship game, can he make the throws? And can A.J. Glass show up as a number 1? I just think those things have to be answered. And against San Fran's defense, I don't know. We'll see. But Philly had a great season, 14-3. They locked up the division. The NFC East, Scotty, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's still rolling with.
Me and Tommy are going back and forth about what was better, AFC or NFC. But that NFC is fucking stacked. I'll give you that. I think AFC is still a force to be reckoned with, but I think they're about a year behind the NFC on how they're rolling, just with Dallas and Philly alone. I don't think we got 2 monsters like that, like you guys do.
But it's unbelievable the fact that every year it's not a repeat champion. It's crazy. It keeps going. But speaking of the NFC East, we're going to go into the Giants for all of our buddies and family that are Giants fans. Unfortunately. 9-7-1. I really believe Brian Daboll is the coach of the year. What do you think?
He's definitely a candidate. I mean, what he's done has been unbelievable. For those who have listened, I was probably about a year late last year. I was all in on the fucking Giants.
You were?
And to me, it doesn't make sense because last year they had Bradbury. Last year they had more pieces than they have now. But I think Saquon was also out, though, most of last year, right? Or he was, I can't remember.
He was off and on, but
he was off and on, which affects things. But it goes to show how much coaching actually does matter. Yeah. How much it actually can change the whole landscape. And what Daboll's done, I mean, it's unreal.
And your quarterback,
it's pretty impressive.
I mean, look at what he did with Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones doesn't look. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Giants got a tough decision because I would say going into this year, you're just kind of getting through the season and you're looking to draft somebody next year or get a free agent, and you kind of know already Daniel Jones isn't the guy. Now that this season has ended, I don't know if Daniel Jones really isn't the guy. You might be able to actually roll with Daniel Jones. I don't know.
Giants fans, here's the problem. There's 3. You remember the triplets from the Dallas Cowboys? Remember the triplets? Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, quarterback, running back, receiver. You don't have any receivers. Absolutely none.
What about Galladay? He's a good.
Oh, Galladay. Fucking yeah. Yeah, we'll get to him in a little bit. No receivers. Not even a fucking tight end. Like, come on. Jay Novacek Jr. is not even on this team. Running back, Saquon Barkley. He gave you, this is his second great year in the rookie deal? You're going to pay this guy? How to work for Ezekiel Elliott? You're going to pay this guy?
That's a big thing real quick. I want to say a lot of Giants fans get on me. I don't think he's there next year. I don't know how he can be. How do you pay this guy? It's like literally the blueprint's been put out there when you're in the process of rebuilding. I mean, honestly, unless you're like Derrick Henry or like one of these few random guys that are like literally the entire offense, like I don't think Saquon is the entire offense. I mean, he kind of was this year, but I don't think you can run that offense completely through Saquon, knowing his history with injuries. Yeah. So if that's the case, he's not the Derrick Henry. He's not some of these other guys. Even Jonathan Taylor last year. He's not a guy to me you pay unless he's the final piece to a championship team. They're not there yet. They're not. He's not the final piece.
Well, I will eat shit, and I did not see Saquon coming again this year. I thought he was going to be too banged up. But what I would say is, if you're going to tell me, hey, yo, Rocco, you got to pick Saquon, you got to pick Daniel Jones, or you got to pick one of your receivers to re-sign, I'm not letting Saquon walk, even with the Ezekiel Elliott deal and most of these running back deals. But granted, Derrick Henry got a big deal. Look what he did. He did great again. Austin Eckler got a big deal. Look at Austin Eckler, right? So
you're confusing the fuck out of me. Are you saying we keep Saquon?
I think out of the three, you got to.
I don't mean to say we because I ain't a fucking Giants fan.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for Giants fans.
Do you
think they should pay him or not pay him?
Daniel Jones is the absolute epitome of pyrite. He is fool's gold. Do not pay that guy. I'd let him walk. Okay. Wide receivers you can go get in the draft, no problem. Bring Saquon Barkley's big-thighed ass back. He puts asses in the seats at MetLife Stadium. He's going to be the guy you can build your offense through. If Daboll made Daniel Jones look like what he's looked like this year, we all know what Daniel Jones is, okay? He's not just going to all of a sudden, because you pay him, going to get much better. This is all you got. You need somebody better.
I didn't think he looked that bad.
He's got to go. Yeah, but he's not just – I really think they're going to upset Minnesota, but I don't think that they can compete with teams like Dallas, with teams like Philly, with teams like San Fran. There's no way. You need a more dynamic thrower of the football. He can run. He's got legs. We know that. But I think he's too slow in processing shit. I don't think his arm is up to snuff. And, I'm not paying that guy $25, $30 million. I'd rather go get Derek Carr, right? I'm not taking Daniel Jones. So you got to pay Saquon, keep him there, and go get the quarterback.
Not a fucking chance in hell. I ain't paying Saquon Barkley. I'm shipping Saquon out, and I'm getting a king's ransom back for him. And then I'm going to use that to go build my squad. I'm probably keeping Daniel Jones for another. I mean, you think he's going to look for a big contract, Daniel Jones?
Out of your tits. He's gonna look to get paid. I mean, he's Carr signed a 3-year deal.
Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent, yeah.
I don't bring Daniel Jones back. I don't bring Saquon Barkley back, if that's me. But
Okay.
Saquon, I'm shipping out.
I thought Saquon is they denied his 5th year. I think he's going to be a free agent.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Here's the deal, Giants fans. All of your fucking big name offensive players right now are up. You have no receivers, no tight ends. DJ and Saquon are going to be free agents. If you let both of them go, who do you have on offense? You're going to do a complete overhaul? You're going to go get 2 receivers, a tight end, a quarterback, and a running back too? I don't see it happening. One of them's coming back, if not both of them. I mean, if they make the dumbass decision to bring Daniel Jones back, then Giants fans, I feel sorry for you. But I don't see how you let Saquon go. I just don't see it.
He's an unrestricted free agent, so you can't even trade Saquon.
No.
Jesus
No.
Christ, they're
Yeah.
fucked.
Come
There's
on.
no way. There's no way I'm bringing Saquon back.
Wow.
There's no way. There's
Yeah.
no way. These running backs are a dime a dozen.
I know.
Look at Kenneth Walker.
I know.
Look at Breece Hall.
No, I'm with you.
Look at even
But do you-
Tyler Algier, whatever the fuck. his
Yeah,
name is.
Algier for Atlanta can play.
Bro, these
Yeah.
guys are a dime a dozen. There's no way I'm
You gotta
paying
draft them,
Saquon
though.
Barkley.
You gotta draft
I'd
them.
actually, if I had to bring one of the two, I'm bringing Daniel Jones back. I'm telling you. right now.
You're fucking nuts. Absolutely nuts. I would bring Saquon back, and I would try to get a team-friendly deal, and I would draft a running back in the 2nd or 3rd round.
Well, of course, if he's going to do a team-friendly deal, bro, the guy's coming off like back-to-back injury years. There's no way he's taking a team-friendly deal. He's going somewhere, and he's getting paid a boatload.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel the same way about Daniel Jones, though, and I ain't paying that motherfucker. No way. Coaches and quarterbacks in this offseason that we think are going to get moved. Scotty boy, in honor of Jimmy G, the real Jimmy G that is, I might have a little bit of singing to do, so I hope you don't get uncomfortable.
God. I'm going to start with my Jets, baby.
Okay. All right. You go. You want to start off with the Jets? Well, do.
Oh, God,
Do.
please.
Do. Jimmy and the Jets.
Oh,
Bookmark
my
it
God.
now, Scotty. Jimmy Garoppolo, the other Jimmy G, is coming to the Big Apple. Is
I
gonna
like the thought.
Joey D. Bobby Saleh from the Bronx finally gets his quarterback. And I think you finally are going to be in the playoffs in 2023.
So what you're saying is we're going to go about 5-2, maybe 6-2, and then we're going to be looking for a quarterback again when fucking Jimmy G goes out for the season.
Well, that's why
I love Jimmy. I'm a bigger Jimmy fan than most. I'm a big Garoppolo fan. But the fucking guy can't stay healthy. He's got one healthy season. And yes, that season he went to Super Bowl. Great. Awesome. That's really impressive, Jimmy. But problem is, it's happened once in, 5-6 seasons, something like that?
Yeah.
Like, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
not
get
good.
it. I get it. You got to keep someone, whether that's Mike White, whether that's Zach Wilson, bangs a couple more MILFs in the offseason, gets a little bit more confidence. And he could potentially be your backup or third-string quarterback that comes in and saves the day if Jimmy G's out with a broken toenail. But I think he's your guy. I think there's other guys available, say a Derek Carr, say a Lamar Jackson.
I don't want Lamar. I'm okay with Derek Carr, even though he kind of sucks, and he's probably going to come and cry in the Big Apple. And the thing is, I don't know if Derek Carr can handle the New York media, honestly. I just think I can see him wanting to go somewhere like Tennessee or I don't know. I could see him honestly thinking of a place that fits his vibe, not just the team. In my honest opinion, David Carr, didn't he play for the Giants though?
David Carr was the backup for the Giants after he left Houston.
So I guess maybe he might have some insight if his brother liked it, because I think him and his brother are very close.
Yeah. Well, speaking of insight and some inside information, we also have some breaking news on the Raiders quarterback, Derek Carr. The news is that it's become very apparent that his favorite Elvis song is "Leavin' Las Vegas." Leavin' Las Vegas. He's out. He's done. He's fucking saying, fuck you, Vegas. I wanted to retire a Raider, but now you're getting rid of my ass. So guess what? I ain't retiring. Go fuck yourself. I can't wait to see a new city and a new team, and I'm going to go ball out, and I'm going to show you guys it's all about your fucking stupid GM hire, your stupid coaching hires. I'm going to go ball out now. Do I think that's with the Jets? I don't. I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think it's going to be Tennessee. I think Tennessee's got a great spot for him with Vrabel. Vrabel's fantastic. They got everything set up for him. They got to go get another receiver. But I think Derek Carr is going to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see him going to Houston. I can even see him going to Carolina if they decide not to go young. There's a couple places. I do think Tennessee's probably a good fit for him. And I think a dark horse, honestly, like I said, I don't want Lamar, and I'm not sure. I think Lamar's going to get tagged. I don't even think Lamar's going to hit the market. I think a dark horse, and I know you're against this because you don't think he'll follow in the footsteps of old Favre boy, but I think Rodgers could be in play as a dark horse, honestly. If he decides he wants to play another 2 years, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And again, I think the connection that people don't know is Robert Saleh is best friends with Matt LaFleur. Mike LaFleur's brother was on our team. Obviously, he just got fired. They have that connection, man.
$60 million to Green Bay for if Aaron Rodgers plays somewhere else.
If they're thinking about paying Lamar, what's the difference?
It's funny you mentioned the name Lamar. With Lamar Jackson, okay, now we just found out that he is out of the game against Cincinnati on Sunday night because of his knee that he hurt 7 weeks ago that apparently was only supposed to be a couple-week injury. He's out because I really, truly believe that he is holding himself out for his contract. He's not going to go get hurt. He knows he's not going to go ball out for Baltimore when he knows that he's not going to be the Baltimore Ravens quarterback.
You hear the bullshit leaking out too that he's like lazy and stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
I don't
right?
buy it.
But we hold on a second. I think I hear something. We go to Baltimore now. I hear something. Oh no, sorry. It was it's the Baltimore Ravens front office, and they're singing something. What is it? I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. Ooh, you ain't for real. He's forcing his way out of Baltimore because they don't want him. They don't fucking want him.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Come on, dude. They don't want him. He's going to Miami. I told you for 3 years. Since the pandemic, I told you he was fucking out of there.
Here's my thoughts. I think they want him. I just don't think they want to pay his number. I think if he was willing to take 180, 160 million, he'd already be a Raven for the next 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is.
I don't think he likes Baltimore.
I don't think he's forcing his way out. I think he would love to be there. I think he just wants 250. I think that's his number, 240, 250. I think he wants above Deshaun Watson, and I think he thinks he deserves that. I'm actually going to say he doesn't deserve that. But realistically, the way it works is usually the highest paid quarterback's the last paid quarterback, not necessarily the best quarterback. So realistically, being the last paid quarterback, you can argue maybe he does deserve that. And I don't think Baltimore's gonna ball with him. I don't think they're gonna pay him. And I think part of it too is Joe Flacco, jerk off Flacco, who's probably gonna retire after this year. Is he probably fucked that up because as soon as they paid him, he was dog shit.
Yeah, well, now he's a dog shit quarterback and a dog shit father, apparently, Joe Flacco. But, but Lamar Jackson.
Wait, real quick. Can we just address that? Like,
what was that?
Guy, I don't think he's a dog shit father.
He's got to be.
I think he's got dog shit kids. He got dog shit kids.
Well, if you got dog shit kids, you're a dog shit father.
Well,
you ain't doing your job.
I mean, for those who don't know, I mean, this fucking guy. First off, his kids kept telling him that he stinks. We think you suck. And he literally would joke around and tell people, "Oh yeah, my kids say I suck all the time." So when he won that game in Cleveland, that miraculous game,
the miraculous game,
which people forget, we probably should be only 6 wins.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, but when he won that miraculous game, his kids were like, "Oh my God, Dad, you had a good game." Like they were shocked, and he was like, "Yeah, my kids think I suck, so it was really great to get a win so they can see me play and blah blah." He goes, "I try to show them highlights and pictures of me." You imagine trying to like convince your kids that you could play football?
Well, yeah, you gotta have
just telling you suck.
You gotta have a VCR in the house.
And then fast forward to the Dolphins game. His kids show up in like a Sauce Gardner jersey,
a Tyreek Hill jersey,
and a Tyreek Hill jersey, taking pictures of Tyreek Hill, getting Tyreek Hill's signature on their fucking jersey.
I'm going to tell you what right now, okay? If I was in the NFL and my son doesn't want to wear my jersey, I did a bad job. I'll just tell you. I don't give a shit how fast Tyreek Hill is. I don't care what his haircut is. I don't care if he's the best player that's ever played at wide receiver ever. If he's not wearing my jersey, I did a bad job.
We're not bad people. We just did a bad thing.
Just did a bad thing. He's got to be a shitty fighter. Now, here's the thing. Scotty, I just think with Lamar Jackson, to close that up a little bit, he's a Miami boy. I watched a shit ton of this guy at Louisville here. Lamar Jackson, he is used to having an offense built around him with other pieces, right? I don't think Baltimore has done that yet. They haven't given him a wide receiver. Their running game is always, who's the running back? And Mark Andrews is fantastic, but that's all they have. So I really think he wants to go warmer weather, and I really think he wants to be in an offense that has got speed all around him and built around Lamar Jackson, hence the Miami Dolphins. I don't think Baltimore also wants to hold him hostage and fucking give him the Kirk Cousins treatment either. So, and I think they're going to be ready to move on.
All right, one last one before we move on.
Sure.
Tommy boy, where's he going?
Tommy B, our boy, Tommy B. I'm going to tell you what, I would love him to be in a Jets uniform. I'd love him to get revenge on Big Balls Belichick twice a year. I'd love him to put you guys in a Super Bowl talk in the AFC, but here's where he's going. I really believe you're going to see Tommy B and Gronk, as my father calls him, Gronk come out of retirement and head over to the desert, to Las Vegas. I really think it's going to be McDaniels, and it's going to be Brady, and it's going to be Gronkowski, along with potentially Waller and Devontae and Renfro and another guy they bring in maybe at wide receiver.
That would be incredible.
And Josh Jacobs. Holy shit.
You definitely got a real recipe there. I think that's probably for sure. I don't know if Gronk comes back. I think he actually might be done. His body's just giving up on him, man. Even when he played the last 2 years, he looked like shit besides a couple scenes. Like, I shouldn't say scenes, a couple
well, there are a couple scenes since they are fucking scripted.
Yeah.
The NFL.
We talked about that earlier. About if the NFL is scripted, I wouldn't be shocked. Derek Carr goes to the Jets, Tom Brady goes to the Raiders, and they see fucking each other. Homecoming, Brady versus the Jets. Derek Carr goes home. I mean, fuck, I wouldn't be shocked. Fucking WWE is the fucking NFL here.
NFLE.
One real quick question though, before we move on to coaches. Belichick, there's a lot of reports coming out. Belichick's kind of lost that locker room a little bit. A lot of people talking back. He's not winning. He's kind of lost the Patriot way, if you want to say that. Do you think there's any chance that Belichick, first off, ships off jerk off Mac Jones?
Jerk off Mac Jones.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
dirty ass.
Dirty
player,
son of
as
a
far
bitch.
as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Hey, do you think there's any chance that to salvage that locker room and kind of get people back on the same page in his way, that he goes after either Brady or Jimmy G, someone that knows his way?
I think
Like,
it's
would
more
you be
realistic.
shocked if Jimmy G goes back there?
I think it's more realistic for Jimmy G. I really do. I told you before, I really believe that there is if you want to talk about dark horse with Rodgers leaving, but dark horse would be Brady and Kronk, coming back to New England. But I think it's way more of a stretch, for Brady to come back than it is for Jimmy G. I don't think either one comes back because New England it's just too old school for these dudes. It's too tough. It's too non-players coachy. Belichick is, he's getting phased out. And I just love it. I love it.
Get rid of him, though.
I love it.
You gotta let him retire.
Of course.
You can never fire him.
But it's really proving that if you want it, everyone said it's 50-50. Brady and Belichick needed each other. They needed each other. Dude, I don't give a shit if it's 51-49. I know it for sure. Brady ran that fucking place. And it's as simple as that. Like I said, if you want to give it 1 extra percent where Brady was 51% the reason, that's what it is. It sure as hell wasn't 50-50.
I agree with you. I think Belichick put the structure in to help everyone be successful and keep everyone on a straight and narrow, which I don't think Tom Brady could or would do because Tom Brady's focused on Tom Brady. But I think without Tom Brady, you still put a good quarterback in there. I don't think they have the same success.
Absolutely not. So it's just the greatness of the GOAT. But Billy's said he's coming back for at least one more year. And like you said, you got to let him finish it out. You just got to let him finish it out. We'll see what he does. He makes that team. I mean, that that team, honestly, Scotty, is a 5-6 win team. And they won 8 games. So, I mean, he can coach football for damn sure. But there's no Tommy B there. So now let's get to the coaches. We have 5 teams. 5 fucking teams that are now out of a coach, that are looking for one, and there's potentially a couple more, maybe after the playoffs, that open up. But right now, for sure, Houston, Arizona, Carolina, Indianapolis, Denver. Let's start with Houston, Scotty. My 2 right now for Houston, I think they either hire D'Amico Ryans, their all-pro linebacker who used to play for the Texans, who's now the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Or I really do believe that this is a great landing spot. I know it's crazy, but I think this is a great landing spot for Sean Payton. I really do.
You're out of your fucking tits.
No, look what he did with New Orleans.
I like
it's the same
D'Amico
thing.
Ryans. I don't like Sean
It's
Payton.
the same thing. They got a
Sean
number 2
Payton,
pick.
The reason Sean Payton left, in my opinion, is because he didn't want to go through another rebuild.
This ain't a rebuild. This could think of New Orleans.
You're out of your fucking tits.
Think of New Orleans when he first got there. It was even worse than Houston, probably. I'm telling you, they got the second pick of the draft. They got all these young pieces. He can fucking take his quarterback. He can start fresh. It's a great spot. Houston's the fastest growing city in America. Come on, I think that's a great spot.
I like D'Amico Ryans. I don't know, man. I feel like there's not a lot of. I hate this whole retread thing, man. I'm tired of all these retreads. I would probably either look for a coordinator or.
Well, we all know college don't work. These college coaches aren't working.
Yeah, I know.
They're not working.
I don't know, man. I like the D'Amico Ryans hire.
Okay.
I like that idea.
All right. Arizona, I don't even want to go into. They're a dumpster fire. I think anybody that goes there, they are married to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, and who knows what that green little outfit he wore that one week. Maybe you want to be married to him, but I don't understand what Arizona's been doing. They just gave an extension to Kingsbury 10 months ago.
Yeah, the dumbest fucking franchise I've ever seen in my life.
It's
they
unreal.
They extended the GM and the coach.
And they're both gone. 10 months later.
And they're talking about Kyler Murray might be on a short leash.
It's unreal. Like, I would not, like, this is going to be the team that some dude, like, say, an Eric Bieniemy, Kellen Moore, like someone who has been a coordinator for a long time and needs one shot. Problem is that this is one of those teams where you might get 1 year and you're out. So yeah. I don't see this being I see this definitely being the worst pick of the litter.
Let me ask you this. Instead of going through each team like we're doing right now, let me ask you just 2 questions because all you need. That's all you need to answer. 1, what's the most desirable spot? And 2, where's Sean Payton going? Because let's be real. I don't know shit if D'Amico Ryan's going to be good. I think he's going to be good, but who knows? And there's a couple other guys that I think are going to be good, but I don't know. Even Dan Quinn's in the mix. A couple other guys are in the mix. There's a couple guys I think could be good, but I don't know what's going to happen. But we all know Sean Payton's a fucking stud.
Yeah.
So where do you think he's going? And where do you think, if I'm a new coach or a retread coach trying to get back in the mix, where's the best place for me to go?
Well, Sean Payton, I think it's either Houston's the long shot, right? But I think it's either going to be he goes back to New Orleans. They tell Allen to, go defensive coordinator, just sit down. We all know Dennis Allen's not a good enough head coach. He would love to go to Dallas, I believe, but we'll see if that job opens up. Same thing, I think, with the Chargers. If that job opens up, he'd love to go there. I really believe that of the open jobs, he's probably going to try to pick between, say, a Denver, potentially a Houston. But I think he's waiting for one of the LA jobs. Let's say if McVay leaves. And like I said, if they fire Staley, say if the Chargers lose to the Jaguars.
I think McVay is a bad choice because they don't have any.
They don't need
draft
picks.
capital.
They don't need picks,
They
but
don't
he
have
wants
any
to be in
draft
LA though for sure.
And they're going to be a rebuild. I think Stafford's going to retire soon. Aaron Donald I think is going to retire if McVay leaves. So they're going to be in complete rebuild mode. So I don't think that's a good fit. I'm personally stuck on. I still think he goes to the Chargers. I think the Chargers are looking for a reason to fire Staley, and I think if they lose to Jacksonville or even lose in the second round, which I think if they don't lose the first, they'll probably definitely lose the second. I think Staley's gone, and I think that's where Sean Payton's going. And I think the motive to get rid of Staley if they lose, unless they win a Super Bowl, I think Staley's gone because the motive is going to be we know Payton wants to come here. Yeah. And I think that's number one on Payton's list. I think the Cowboys are on that list if McCarthy got fired.
Yep.
But I also think Payton's also probably doesn't want to deal with Jerry.
Yep.
I think the dark horse, I think those are number 1 and 2, but I think the dark horse to me, which might not be a major dark horse, is Arizona. And I think Arizona is a good bet because he can go in.
He can take over, right?
He can be the GM.
Yeah.
Which I think he kind of likes that idea, like that Parcells mindset, where his coaching tree comes from.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of work, though. A lot of work. I think he wants something that's closer, than that. Because even Houston, I think, is closer than Arizona is, which is crazy. I will tell you, the one guy who's going to make waves wherever he decides to go, it's Jim Harbaugh. I think if Jim Harbaugh can go to, I think, either Indy or Carolina, I don't think he's going to be in Denver. I think Indy is where he wants to be. He's in the Ring of Honor.
He would fit perfect in Indy. He kind of reminds me of Jim Irsay. The way he's like fucking weird and fucking out of his fucking tits.
He would be great.
Him and Jim Irsay would be fucking caught out the bar drinking every fucking night.
They need a lot of work, but I think he fits.
They don't need a lot of work.
They play the Big Ten championship every year in Indianapolis. He was there the past 2 with Michigan. I just see him in Indianapolis. I do. I remember as a kid.
That's a good bet.
1995, fucking Jim Harbaugh crushing it with the Colts. Like I think he's an Indianapolis guy.
I just personally think he stays in Michigan. I don't think he comes out.
Yeah, we'll see. That's going to be the biggest domino. But I just said I think Frank Reich's going to be the coach of Carolina. I think Harbaugh is in Indy, and I think Dan Quinn is going to coach Denver if he does not coach Dallas.
I really think Frank Reich should probably take 2 years off of head coaching and just be the OC for the New York Jets for.
That's another great pick. So here we go. We're ready for the playoffs, baby.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Let's start off with the first game on Saturday. You got the Seattle Seahawks led by Geno Smith, the miraculous fucking Seattle Seahawks, the 7 seed, playing in San Fran against the 49ers, the 2 seed, with Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, going nuts since he's been in there. They rattled off 10 straight wins, the 49ers. Scotty, is this basically pretty elementary who's going to win this fucking game or what?
Purdy Elementary, is that what you said?
Oh, like what you did there.
It's a pretty.
It's Purdy Elementary, ain't it?
I got a pretty good idea.
I like it. They're doing Purdy damn good.
The Niners are favored by 9.5, so it's a nice big spread. We're just gonna pick the winners, but I gotta throw in the spreads as we go because people are gonna want to know. And I'm telling you right now, I'll take the Niners all day.
You're doing -10.
Yeah, I'll take them on the cover. I'm saying I'm just taking money line bets with you because you just want to do money line with me. But I'm telling you, if I had to take the spread, I'm still probably taking that spread.
Wow. Okay. So you're rolling with the 10 with the Niners. Now, the night game Saturday night is the wild card LA Chargers at Jacksonville in Duval with the AFC South champs at 9-8 with Dougie P, Trevi Lawrence. I don't know, Scotty. This is a crazy game. I think they're very evenly matched. You know how much we love Herbert. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers too, which, by the way, you didn't take the last one. Are you taking Niners?
I'm taking the Niners all day.
Okay. So, yeah, we both got Chargers. We both got Niners. I got a feeling we're going to agree on all these, which is going to suck.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm telling you, I just think that if you're talking quarterbacks, I'm taking Herbert over Trevor. Even though I like this Jacksonville defense, and I'm not a big fan of Brandon Staley, that's for damn sure. But I just think Herbert, this is his time to shine. So I will take him.
Dolphins, Bills.
Bills. I'm taking Miami to lose by 40. So
Bills are favored by 13.5.
13.5.
Bills all day.
I'll take 33.5 with Buffalo. This is the start of the, I think, second act in the Disney movie, Scotty. So the first act is we're talking into Cincinnati with Damar Hamlin. The second act is the playoffs, and we'll lead up to the Super Bowl where Damar Hamlin gets, the rising standing ovation from the crowd at the Super Bowl. But I'll take Buffalo by 33.
Giants, Vikings. Vikings are favored by 3.
Yeah. So to me,
you like the Giants?
To me, I love the Giants because of that spread. Number one, Minnesota should be favored by at least 5. At least. You're talking they're at home and they got 4 more wins than the Giants. This was a tight ball game in a regular season. I think the Jimmy G Giants are going to fucking pull an upset, and I think the Giants are going to beat Minnesota.
I actually originally was going to take the Vikings, but for James, I'll take the Giants on this one.
This is for you, Jimmy. I'm going to tell you, I think the Giants come out. I think Daboll's got them ready. He had them rested in the last week of the season. And Jimmy G's going to give them something extra. I think they're going to beat the Vikings and pyrite fucking Kirk Cousins.
Cincy against the Ravens.
Yep. So we're watching that.
Cincy's favored by 9.5.
9.5. You got Tyler Huntley, a quarterback for the Ravens.
That's a big spread.
Big spread. Lamar's out. Huntley looks like shit the past couple weeks. Joey Burrow, to me, you're not on the bandwagon yet. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. He is the absolute best quarterback. He's the guy I would take with me any day of the week over any one of these guys. I'll take Cincy. It may be closer because I love John Harbaugh. So if I were to take the spread, I'm taking Baltimore, but I want Cincy the Cincy's winning this game.
Yeah, we're going to agree on all these picks because I'm taking Bengals too.
Okay. Here's the game, right? Dallas at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, as an 8-win fucking division winner, is hosting the 12-win Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking Dallas as the homer that I am. But I can't tell you that I'm confident. I can't tell you that I am excited to watch my team go into Tampa Bay and play the GOAT and feel confident that they're going to win this game. I don't. But I can't pick against them. And I'm taking them. And I'm shocked that they're favorites as well. They don't usually play well as favorites. So I'm going to go on a limb, take them. But if the GOAT fucking goats me, then I fell for it again.
I would love to take Tom Brady just to fuck with you, but I don't think there's a chance in hell that offensive line can protect him against Micah Parsons. So I'm going to go with the
Going Dallas.
boys.
You taking 2.5 or what?
Yeah, I'll take 2.5.
Okay. All right, we'll see. Now, here's the best part, Scotty. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, it's a win-win for me. We win the game, awesome. We advance to the playoffs. We lose the game, I think we lose our head coach. And I think that's why I'm going to be really excited with whatever outcome it is. And you know my love for Tom Brady. So it's a win-win for me. It's a shocker, but it is. Real quick, Scotty, I'm just telling you, this is just goes into the secret sauce of our Super Bowl secret sauce. You better not have a quarterback that's over 12% of your cap. You ain't going to win a fucking Super Bowl. Well, now apparently it's very obvious that if you have a quarterback that's over 12%, you probably ain't making the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Okay? 12
Secret sauce.
of the 14 teams in the playoffs have a chance to win a Super Bowl because their quarterback makes underneath 12%.
Secret sauce.
Sauce. And 2 teams, the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, Chiefs fans, it ain't happening. You know why? Because you got 2 motherfuckers over 12. You got Pat Mahomes, who takes up 17% of your cap, and you got defensive tackle who's unbelievable, Chris Jones, who takes up 14% of your cap. You guys are fucked. Ain't happening. Forget about it. And Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, 15% of your cap, ain't going to work. The other 12 teams are all in it. And Scotty, I mean, this is crazy to me. The top 10 quarterback cap hits of the whole league, only 4 of them made the playoffs. Can you believe that? 4.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
It's unreal. Unreal. These teams aren't getting it. These teams, like...
I think your secret sauce is going to get busted this year, though, because I think Kansas City's probably
ain't
gonna win the whole damn
happening,
thing.
brother. Ain't happening.
They're making it to the Super Bowl.
They
I'll tell
may
you that.
get there. They ain't winning. They ain't winning. That's the sauce. You ain't going to win the
All
Super
right,
Bowl.
Well, let's see. Let's wrap this up and
All
let's see
right,
what happens.
but that was it, right? I was fucking super happy to be back. Again, I think the Giants are going to really come out for Jimmy on Sunday, and we're going to be together. So I can't wait for that. We're going to be together to watch these fucking games on Sunday and Monday. We'll be together with the fam and all that back in the homeland, and we can't wait. We're going to figure out whether we're right, whether we're out of our tits, whether we're fucking dead on balls accurate.
Dead on balls accurate.
And until next week, when we talk to you guys for the divisional round, for Rocco B, that was Scotty G. We're saying see you later and sayonara.
Adios.